So let's settle this once and for all. Pixellab or Canva? Which one is better? Now, I'm not going to be telling you anything. I'm not going to be telling you, oh, this is better, this is better. You will be the judge. I'm just going to be telling you the features of these two apps. Then you are going to be the judge. You are going to tell me, after listening to this video, which of these apps you prefer, which of these apps you prefer, if it's Pixellab or if it's Canva. So let's get started.
Round one.
Now, when you log into your Pixellab app, when you open your Pixellab app, there's nothing really there. Like everything you need to do, you have to start from scratch, like totally from scratch. Now, I think this is actually a good thing because it allows you to actually be creative, though. And I think there are a few exceptions. There are some Pixellab app that you will not find on Play Store. Somebody has to send it to you. Those are Act Pixellab or Mods Pixellab version that people call Premium Pixellab. Yeah, somebody has to send it to you. And those apps, they contain few templates that you can actually use. And sometimes I feel some of the templates don't really make sense though. So I think I actually like Pixellab because Pixellab allows you to start from scratch and this can help you to be creative. Now let's talk about Canva. Now you must agree with me that Canva interface is really beautiful. Like when you log into Canva for the first time, when you log into Canva, you want to use it to design. Like look at it now, the interface is really beautiful compared to Pixellab that is just there. But you are a graphic designer and would you really want to just be using templates to design? Though Canva, you can actually design from scratch in Canva, but sometimes the templates can really be temptation for somebody that, should I say, starting new, something like that. And I think Canva is just like, there are a lot of templates to use, there are a lot of elements to use, so you're not really starting anything from scratch. You can just get everything you need from Canva app. So be the judge, Canva or Pixellab for this round one. For this round, which one do you think is preferable? An app that allows you to be creative and an app that allows you to be creative to some extent, that spoils you with little templates.
Round two.
So let's talk about fonts. Now, Pixellab has fonts, right? But I personally don't think I don't know. I don't like the fonts that Pixellab has. But Pixellab fonts is few. Yes, it's few. But you see Canva, you know Canva has a paid version and it has a free version. Even in the free version, Canva has a lot of fonts that you can use, and not just anyhow font. They have good fonts that you can actually use. And now let's go deeper. Now this is where I think Pixellab has an edge in terms of font over Canva. Now Pixellab, you can actually import fonts. For example, I said I don't like the fonts in Pixellab, right? I can decide to download more fonts and then import it into my Pixellab, and I can do that for free because Pixellab is a totally free app. Now, okay, let me not use totally free because some Pixellab stickers are not free, but you sometimes you might not even notice that Pixellab has a premium version. Now, for Canva, before you can import fonts, you need to be in the premium version. You need to have the premium version. You need to subscribe for Canva before you can import fonts. So for this, I don't really know. You be the judge. Pixellab or Canva? Will you prefer an app that has few fonts and you can import your fonts, or an app that has a lot of fonts that you might not necessarily need to import new fonts, but if you want to import new fonts, you have to subscribe? Which one would you prefer? You be the judge.
Round three.
Now, in terms of logo design, if I am to judge, Pixellab is better. Yes, I'm judging this because now Pixellab allows you to create any type of logo from scratch. Yes, from scratch. Like you can create any type of logo. You can use Pixel to create a logo. You can use Max so you can merge some shapes together. Different ways you can create logos. Now, Canva. You can create logos in Canva, but there's limitation. Now, I'm not talking about templates, I'm talking about creating logos from scratch. In Canva, there are lots of limitation. You don't have Bezier tool, you don't have Max tool, you can't even merge shapes and erase some parts of the shape to give you some certain things you want. So in terms of this, I think, okay, you be the judge. Would you prefer an app where you can create from scratch, completely from scratch, or an app where you can't create some things from scratch, you are just limited to some certain type of logos, only some certain type of logos? You be the judge.
Round 4.
Now, in terms of the format that you can save your design in, now Pixellab has just two formats. Now you have your JPG format, which is the format with background, and then you have your PNG format, which is the format without background. That's just the two formats Pixellab have. But Canva have more than that. Canva have your JPG format, you have your PNG format, and you also have a PDF format. And just imagine your clients want you to design something and they want it in a PDF format and you use Canva. You are just going to save it like that and send. But if you are using Pixellab, you have to start looking for a app that can convert your JPG or your PNG into PDF, and I think that's extra work. But guess what? In Canva, okay, Canva people will be thinking they won, but this is where it gets tricky. Now in Canva, you can only use that PDF function. Should I call it function or button? If you are a premium subscriber in Canva. So did Pixel Lab win again? You be the judge.
Round 5.
Now let's talk about in terms of stock images, social media icons, etc. Now if you are using Pixellab, you have to get everything, like everything outside the app, except you are using some mod or art version of Pixellab where you just have like few of these things. And when I say few, not even up to 30. Yeah, not even up to 30. But if you are using Canva, there's a section in Canva where you have a lot of elements you can use, you have a lot of stock images you can use, you have a lot of free social media icons that you can use. For this, I think Canva looks like it has an edge though, but I actually prefer Pixellab. I actually prefer getting my own stock images so that I can actually choose what I want, because Canva is not like Canva we have all the good stock images in the world. There are some, let's say you go into the app and you want to design, you might not like what they have, you might not like the kind of social media icon they have, especially when you are not using the premium version. If you are not using the premium version, of course some things are going to be locked for you, so you have to pay to get them. And let's say you don't have money to pay, you're using the free version, you have to still go outside and download, just like Pixellab. So I think I just prefer using Pixellab. Let me just know I'm downloading everything I need and I'm downloading my choice. I'm not just trying to like, okay, let me use the one this app has or this app is giving me for free. So be the judge for this. Would you prefer getting it simple, like just in Canva, you just go to your elements, you go to your graphics, you get your photos, you get stock images for free, or you prefer to go to some free sites, download them and import into your Pixel Lab and use? You be the judge. Which one would you prefer?
Round 6.
Now, have you noticed that the shapes in Pixel Lab are limited? But that's why Pixel Lab is the done, because even if the shapes in Pixel Lab are limited, you can actually create more. Yes, you can actually create new shape, any shape you want in Pixel Lab. But let's talk about Canva. Canva has a lot of shapes, like a lot of shape. But Ogbeni, you can't really create any type of shape you want to in Canva. You can't. You can try and create some shapes, but there's limitation. You can't actually create any type of shape you want in Canva. Unlike Pixellab that it has few shapes, but it gives you the opportunity, it gives you the leverage to be able to create any type of shape, any kind of shape that you want from the few ones that are available. Now you can do this using your Bezier tool, you can do this using your Max tool, you can do this by merging several shapes together and then erasing the part that is not necessary, that you don't want. I guess many of you don't know this about Pixellab. Well, okay, join my class, you will learn. So this part, be the judge. Would you want to learn Pixellab and you can create any shape you want, or you like to go with Canva, which is actually limited in terms of that? So this is also related to shape. Now there's a tool in Canva, or should I call it, okay, a tool in Canva, and it's called frame. Now these frames, what they do is that these frames are basically shapes, and these shapes you can import pictures into into Canva, and then when you import pictures you can put these pictures into this frame and they will take the shape of that frame. Now there's a tool like that in Pixellab which is called texture. Now you can import any, you can choose any shape in Pixellab, and then when you choose your shape in Pixellab, you click on texture and then you import the image, and the image takes the shape that you choose. Now this is where we have to choose which one is better. Now remember I told you that Pixellab you can like create any shape you want. So let's say you want to create a shape, or you see a certain design. Let's just say you see a certain design, or a client give you a certain design and say, oh, I want you to put my picture in this particular shape. Now if you are using Pixellab, you can be able to create something from scratch and then use your texture to do that. But Canva, you can only use the available frames, and these frames are limited, so you can only do what you can do, or what the app allows, or what you are seeing. You can't really create, you can't really create from scratch. But Pixellab, even if you scroll through the shapes in Pixellab and that particular shape is not there, you can create it and then use your texture to put the picture, and then it takes the form of the shape you created. Okay, for this, be the judge, which one do you prefer? For me, I think Pixellab is actually winning though.
Round 7.
Now Pixellab has a tool that I think actually makes it unique, because this particular tool, it has some similarity with a tool in CorelDRAW and Photoshop, pen tool in CorelDRAW and Photoshop, and this tool in Pixellab is called the Bezier tool. Now this tool, I don't know if I pronounce it well though, this tool can actually help smartphone graphic designers to sketch their logo, or to sketch anything they want to sketch, and then use that to trace it, just like you do in Photoshop and CorelDRAW. And I think that is really a good win for smartphone graphic designers. Yeah, because of that you can actually be able to sketch logos if you know how to use the tool well, of course, because I think many smartphone graphic designers actually avoid that too, because somehow it needs you to put in a lot of work to learn it. Now for Canva, Canva doesn't have a tool like that, though it has a drawing tool that, again, I don't think a lot of persons know that Canva has a drawing tool. Though it has a drawing tool, but you cannot compare it with the Bezier tool or the pen tool in Canva, sorry, in Pixellab, Illustrator, or Photoshop. The pen tool, the drawing tool is just there, can allow you to draw, but I don't really fancy it. I don't really fancy it. So I think Pixellab is winning. I don't know about you, but choose Pixellab on Canva. Which one won this round? Now, I so much love Canva for something. Now, Canva has a lot of tools. Canva has a background remover tool. And recently, Canva actually introduced an AI tool that can actually help you. It's called Magic Eraser. It can actually help you to erase an object out of something. Let's say like I'm here now, maybe I want to erase just one particular thing out of my background. I can use that magic eraser. And I think Canva background removal tool, it works perfectly well. Now let's talk about Pixellab. Of course, we know Pixellab doesn't have that one. Pixellab, from time immemorial, there has been no upgrades to this app. Like Canva keeps upgrading their app, keep adding new things. But Pixellab, since we know Pixellab, it has remained the same. But those tools I told you about in Canva, they are not completely free, especially the background remover tool and that AI magic eraser is not completely free. You have to be a premium version user. You have to be using the premium version of Canva to be able to use it. But it's still a good thing, at least if you are using the premium version of Canva, you know you can remove your background easily without using an external app or an external site. Then you can, let's say somebody gives you a flyer and say just edit this particular thing from that flyer. You can just use your background, sorry, your magic eraser in Canva, and then you remove that particular thing. Well, I think that's a little advantage over Pixellab though. And Pixellab has a tool you can actually use to remove background. It's called erase color. But I don't advise anybody that love to make good designs to use it, because it's just going to make your design look somehow if you use it. You might decide to try it out, no problem. But I think for this Canva one, if you are using the premium version of Canva though.
Wrong date.
So in terms of data usage, Canva uses data, but Pixellab, you don't need data for Pixellab. So I think in terms of this, I think, is it not better to use an app that doesn't need data, or is better to use an app that needs data? But if you check it, even if Pixellab doesn't need data, you still need to go and download everything you need to do your design, and then indirectly you are using data. But Canva, they just tell you straight you are going to use data. So which one do you think won this round? Pixellab or Canva?
Final round.
Now, in terms of alignment, I think Canva actually helps you to align your work. I don't know if you have noticed when you are using Canva app, you notice that Canva arranges your work in a way so they will be aligned. But in terms of Pixel Lab, you really have to figure out everything from scratch. Yeah, Pixel Lab has a tool that can help you in aligning your work, but you have to do the work for it to be aligned, right? But in Canva, it's like it's even the tool that is pushing you, that is directing you to do your alignment and all that. I think for that, am I going to say Canva is better or Pixellab is better? Because you are a creative, and you are a creative, you need to be creative. Okay. And I don't know, Canva actually is easy. It's actually easy. Now this is it. If you notice, if you open the two app, let's say you open Canva app and you open Pixellab app. Now when you look at Pixellab, you think Pixellab is actually easy because the interface look easy, it has few buttons and all that. But the truth is that Pixellab has more features than Canva app. Yes, there are features hidden under features. Pixel Lab has more features than Canva, and it's actually harder than Canva. Canva is just a drag and drop design app that everything, basically almost everything is done for you. So you don't really need to do much work. So this is the final round. You choose Canva or Pixellab. Which one is better? And if you have other features that I did not mention here that you want to mention, please add it to the comment section and let's debate it. Let's fight this fight once and for all. Canva or Pixellab, which one is better? But hope you know that in Design Like a Pro class, I will teach you how to use Canva, and I'll also teach you how you can use Pixellab app. So if you even want to learn how you can use the two apps, you can join Design Like a Pro class, and then you are going to learn you can make awesome designs using both Canva and Pixellab. So let's put that aside. Let's judge Canva or Pixellab. Drop your answers in the comment section. Which one won for you, and which one are you going to continue using? Which one are you going to stop using? Are you going to use the two like me, or you just want to stick with one? Drop your comments in the comment section.